Well, interest rates, y'all, have been fairly flat if you just look at the numbers that I'm about to read off. However, that doesn't tell the whole story. So we're going to dive into it and look at some of the details of what's moving the market and what might move it going forward. Mortgage News Daily has a 30-year fixed rate conforming loan today at 6.16%. We were at 6.19 a week ago, so pretty much dead flat over the last week, y'all. 6.19 is where we were 30 days ago. Now, don't infer from that, y'all, that we've seen interest rates be dead flat for the last 30 days. We haven't. We saw a lot of volatility. We hit a 4-year low, and then we hit a multi-month high within that time frame. This is just where it's hung out as far as the timing of this call. Rates have recouped about half the losses they suffered when the Trump administration announced a new round of potential tariffs on the EU for their failure to support his Greenland aspirations. Since those tariffs have now been put on hold, we're seeing some of a benefit of that. And again, we've recouped about half of the losses that we suffered when those tariffs were first announced. Not all the way there yet, but we're getting there. We now have a shutdown looming this Saturday, likely to see it, y'all. This is over the disputed DHS funding. It's unlikely that we're going to see an avoidance of this shutdown because you got folks that just need it from a political standpoint. They want to be able to campaign on it. So that's really driving the political front, y'all, as we are in an election year. Oil, by the way, is up on Iran conflict fears because we now have a whole carrier group that's making its way to the Persian Gulf that raising concerns of a potential attack on Iran, and that is driving the cost of oil higher, being a global commodity, y'all. Anything that disrupts supply is going to push oil prices higher. That opens up the door that future inflation reads, if it's something that's consistent in the marketplace, could create issues for us down the road with regard to interest rates. So any benefit that we might have been seeing from the instability around the shutdown is really being offset by the potential higher cost for energy. Fed met yesterday, did absolutely nothing unexpected. The Fed did not cut interest rates yesterday. The only newsworthy part of the Fed meeting yesterday, y'all, is that the Federal Reserve Chair, Chairman Powell, in his post-Fed meeting press conference, lamented that this has become a political event. And he cautioned future Fed chairs against any political entanglements, which is ironic, y'all, because when you look at Fed futures, we do not see really any possibility of a cut, or a very small possibility of a cut, as long as Chairman Powell is in that seat, even though we have quite a bit of economic data that suggests we should. Y'all, we have seen a softening labor market, although we are starting to see it tightening up a little bit. And we see inflation even by Powell's own admission. When you look at the improving rent costs that are such a big part of the CPI numbers that they make decisions based on, we see that coming down. You see other aspects of the components of the personal consumption and expenditures report. Powell also indicated in his conference that they are seeing improvement in those things. And if you pull out the areas that he views as particularly volatile, then they are at goal as far as their 2% goal is concerned. So the Fed is fairly openly acknowledging they're at goal if you look at the fundamentals of the reporting that they've got on their plate. And yet they didn't move for a cut, even though all of the Fed members are acknowledging that they may be, they're definitely tight from historical standpoints, and they're too tight right now. And yet they're not moving. And the reason for that, y'all, is politics. The administration is not going to get a cut out of this Powell Fed. That's just the bottom line. They've just drawn too many lines in the sand for that to happen. So it is a bit laughable when Chairman Powell tries to maintain that he's not political. Of course he's political. We would have seen a cut if he weren't. So that's just my 2 cents on that, y'all. Since we're talking about interest rates, y'all, I want to talk about how your clients are best served. Because every lender out there is going to be within spitting distance of each other from a pricing standpoint, and we all pretty much have similar, if not identical, products across the board with little variations here and there. What differentiates one company from another is their ability to perform, and to perform on time, and to perform as agreed and as promised with the fewest frustrations as possible. Y'all, reviews matter. And if I can do a bit of a commercial here, we're very proud of what we've built over the last 30 years in mortgage. We right now have 337 reviews on Experience.com, that's where we have elected to list all of our reviews and drive all of our customers to so that they can complete a review for us if they've closed a loan with us. Of those, 305 of them are 5-star, y'all. 32 of them are 4-star. That means 4.97% 5-star reviews out of those 337. I've never had a 3, a 2, or a 1-star review. I've never had a dissatisfied customer, y'all. Not one in the last, 10 years or so that we've been using this service. Maybe not that long, 7 years or so. And what that speaks to, y'all, is folks are looking for far more than just the absolute cheapest. I do not commoditize myself. I believe that what we do here, what I do as an originator, has value in and of itself. We're not just trading potatoes and pork bellies here, y'all. That's 100% dependent on price. We're performing a service, and what we want is a customer that pushes away from the closing table with a smile on their face, very content with the process that they've just gone through. It's not lost on any of us here that we are building a business that is selling a product that nobody wants. They're not going to necessarily enjoy the invasion of privacy necessary to obtain it. They're not going to be thrilled with the prospect of using it after they've got it. So selling that product and still maintaining almost a perfect 5-star rating for nearly a decade, y'all, that's something we're very, very proud of, and it's something that should bring comfort to you when you're recommending us to your clients. I know this was a bit of a shameless commercial, but that's okay, y'all. We do mortgages here for a living, and I'm proud of the team that we've put together, and I'm proud of the way we do it. So hopefully this is something that's compelling for you and for your clients. We'd love to have your referrals. Always blessed to have them. Stay blessed. Stay safe. We'll talk to you next week.